Shabbat Shalom. As the community choir just sang so beautifully, Ala nisim she'asita lavotenu bayamim hahem bazman hazeh. Thank God for the miracles in that time and the miracles today. Today I want to talk about miracles. In a few days, we will begin to celebrate Hanukkah. And in the last few months, many are saying that we have seen some miracles as the tide has started to change for our people in the land of Israel, with the Israel Defense Forces reasserting our deterrence in the Middle East, taking out the leadership of Hamas, Hezbollah, decimating many of their abilities to inflict terror on Israel. But yet, in just a few days, we will light our candles still under a cloud of sorrow and uncertainty as we await the safe return of our brothers and sisters still held captive, still held hostage in Gaza, and the safe return of our soldiers who still fight every day in a war that seems to be unending. The events of October 7th, which brought unimaginable suffering to our people, have cast a shadow over all of us. Many of us have experienced the feeling of loss, of fear, grief. And as we light the Hanukkah candles this year, we may wonder, how can we celebrate light? How can we think about bringing light into the world around us when the world seems so dark? How can we focus on miracles when we are still in so much pain? When so much pain still surrounds us? But perhaps this is exactly the moment to reflect on what true miracles are. Perhaps in this very darkness, we can understand more deeply what Hanukkah teaches us, that miracles are not always about defying natural law, but about seeing the extraordinary in the ordinary, recognizing the light in the darkness, finding hope in the face of despair. During the time of the Maccabees, when the temple was desecrated, the Jewish people oppressed, it seemed that all was lost. But a small group of faithful warriors refused to give up, fought for their right to exist. After reclaiming the temple from the Greeks, they rededicated the temple by lighting the menorah. And as the story goes, we all know they found enough oil to last one day, but miraculously, the oil lasted 8. The rabbis ask, we understand that it was a miracle for the oil to last from day 2 through day 8. But what was the miracle of the first day? After all, they had enough oil to last one day. The rabbis answer, after arriving to see the temple in ruins amidst the destruction, they had the courage and the faith to search for the oil. An almost impossible task, as they entered a temple that was completely in ruin. But they undertook this task with determination. They didn't wait for the miraculous to happen on its own. They searched through the ruins, through the rubble, for a jar of pure oil signed and sealed by the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, knowing that if they could just find one jar, just a little bit of oil, they could rekindle the flame of the menorah. This act of searching for light in a place of ruin. The first day, the miracle is one of faith and hope and of courage. We often think of miracles as events that defy nature, supernatural interventions, things that break the rules of logic, the splitting of the sea, the 10 plagues, manna falling from heaven, oil lasting 8 days when it should have only lasted 1. My teacher, Rabbi Harold M. Schulweiss, his memory be for a blessing, offers us a different perspective. He teaches that miracles are not necessarily about breaking the natural order. Rather, they are about finding the extraordinary in the ordinary, seeing the hidden wonders within the routine of our lives. Miracles happen when we take what is given to us, the natural world, our bodies, our lives, and we bring our agency, our faith, and our hope to it, transforming the ordinary into something extraordinary. In his writing, Rabbi Schulweiss invites us to consider something as simple as a wound, a cut on the skin. If left untreated, it becomes infected, leading to further damage. But with care, antiseptic, a bandage, and time, the wound has the potential to heal. Is this not a miracle, he asks? It is not a miraculous event that defies the laws of nature, but a natural process that requires our action and care to unfold. Over time, what was once an injury transforms into healing. In this partnership between human agency and the body's natural ability to heal, we witness something miraculous, the miracle of transformation, the miracle of recovery. There's another story that our tradition tells, an anecdote of a man stranded on the rooftop of his home, surrounded by floodwaters. He prays to God to be saved, and all of a sudden, a rowboat with rescuers comes by and offers him safety, and he turns them away, confident that God will save him. A helicopter flies over and lowers its rope as a ladder, and the pilot urges him to climb the ladder. He turns to the pilot. He says, "No, God will save me." He's resolute in his faith. Well, he turns to his maker as the waters begin to rise, and he protests, "I am a believing man. I have always proclaimed my trust in you. Why have you, God, forsaken me?" And the echo of the heavenly voice responds, "But my son, I sent you the men in the rowboat. I sent you the helicopter, and you dismissed them. Why have you forsaken me?" In this week's Torah portion, we actually saw Joseph do the opposite. We're told of how Joseph was sent by his father out to look for his brothers, and he encounters a man, and he approaches this man, and he asks his brothers, "Where are my brothers? Have you seen my brothers?" And the man tells him, "Go towards Shechem." And he follows. Joseph could have easily not listened to the man, but he followed the sign. his own human agency. And with that one decision, the rest of the story of Joseph and the rest of the story of the Jewish people unfolds. Rabbi Schulweis says, faith is a way of seeing and a way of responding to what we see. The idea of the miraculous that excludes human action and reaction to events overlooks the divine presence within nature and humanity. This same understanding can help us appreciate the miracles of Hanukkah. It wasn't just the oil that burned for 8 days that was miraculous, it was the faith, the will, the courage to search for that oil in the rubble of the temple, the decision that people like us made in that moment. And just as that small act of searching, of seeking light in the darkness became the spark for greater miracles, so too does our response to hardship shape the miraculous moments in our own lives. In the wake of the horror of October 7th, we have witnessed a remarkable outpouring of resilience, courage, and unity among the Jewish people. We have seen soldiers, medical teams, volunteers risking their lives, working tirelessly to defend, to heal, to rebuild. We have seen families who have lost everything yet continue to stand firm in their faith and in their hope for the future. We have seen a people who refuse to let darkness define us. In the face of unimaginable pain, we continue to have faith in the possibility of a future where we rebuild, we heal, we prevail. This is no less a miracle than the miracle of the oil. As Rabbi Schulweis writes, miracles are transactions between that over which we have little control and that over which we have a measure of control. In the face of the darkness, we do not surrender to despair. We act, we care, we rebuild. And in this, we transform the reality before us. The light of the Hanukkah candles shines brightest, we know, during the darkest time of year. It's precisely when we are surrounded by darkness that we have the opportunity to reveal the extraordinary. The Hanukkah candles do not merely illuminate the room, they remind us that even in our lowest moments, light is possible. The true miracle is the faith and hope we choose to carry with us, even in the face of suffering. And so this year, as we light our Chanukiot, let us remember that miracles happen when we, with faith, courage, determination, make space for transformation. As we face the darkness of this moment in history, let us not forget the miraculous strength of our people. In just a few days, as I said earlier, we will say the prayer Al Hanisim. We will thank God for the miracles that took place long ago, the miracles of today. Just as the Maccabees fought valiantly and found hope in the darkest of times, we too are a people who will not be defeated. We will search for the oil. We will hold on to the light. We will prevail. May this Hanukkah be a time of healing, of light, of hope. May we always find the strength to recognize the miracles in our lives, and to act to transform darkness into light, and to always hold on to the belief that we can and we will emerge victorious. Am Yisrael Chai. The people of Israel shall live forever. Amen. Shabbat shalom.